Hi, I am Zoe of Paranormal Extraction, but don't forget I do the metaphysical and spiritual too. And we have on Bev Wood today, Introduction to Ageless Wisdom. And I am so excited to have her on because it's been a little while since I've had somebody come on and speak about the metaphysical or spiritual. And I love what she has to say. So I'm going to go over and I'm going to sit down, and it's just like coffee talk. Remember, you guys, we don't edit these. Who knows? Maybe the dog's going to bark today. Oh, Beth, let's hope the dogs don't bark.
Good morning, Zoe.
Oh, good morning. I'm so excited to have you on today. And Bev, I want you to kind of talk a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Okay, yeah, I'm not very good at doing that, but I will give it a shot.
Okay.
So basically, I have my go-to is astrology. I've been doing astrology for over 40 years.
Wow.
And that kind of launched me into becoming a student many years ago of Raja Yoga, and then the Ageless Wisdom. They're kind of like part and parcel. I'll talk a little bit about that during our show. And so basically, that's what I've been doing. I stepped into counseling. I'm a certified spiritual counselor and teaching. I do classes, astrology classes, workshops on, based on the Ageless Wisdom. And so the other great thing I am involved with, and you've already had him on your show,
Yeah.
I won't belabor it, but I can't help it. I'm involved with this amazing foundation called the International Foundation of Biomagnetics with Paul Bucky.
Yes.
And
yes.
we are here to bring love to everybody with this amazing light touch technique.
Yes.
So,
now,
just had to say that.
You have that on. Let everybody know when that's on. It's on Mondays.
Actually, Paul and I have a live streaming show every Monday at 10 a.m. Tucson time. And we just talk about all kinds of great stuff that's happening in the fourth kingdom called humanity and for us and what we're all going through. So BioTouch is an amazing gift for all of us now.
Yes, and we're gonna actually have him on again.
Good.
So I'm really excited about the whole BioTouch thing, and we'll get into that on a different, because we want to talk about Ageless Wisdom today.
Right.
And so let's tell me a little bit about what is Ageless Wisdom.
Okay, so basically, it is a great body of teachings on the origins and the history of all the cosmic, solar, and planetary lives. We think we're so concerned with our identification in our personality lives that most of humanity has no clue that there are these great beings that we're just a little bitty part of. So it also includes the laws and the principles that govern all of these lives. We're one of them, okay?
Right.
This fourth kingdom, which I'll go into in just a little bit. But what I wanted to, my concern is maybe giving some tools today, because this Ageless Wisdom is held for every single one of us. But you have to be willing to find it and then to work with it. It's not, the real work while we're really here on this planet has yet to be connected to most of humanity's consciousness yet.
Okay, so sorry, I hate to interrupt you. So you were just saying that, about, we need to know about this concept of Ageless Wisdom and what you're speaking about. So what exactly, and you're saying we need to do the work on that, what exactly is Ageless Wisdom? And what would the work be on that? Am I making any sense?
Right,
okay.
Right. So here's a couple of things that as a student, by the way, I'm always the student. I mean, I continue to study on my own and in my groups. But here's a couple things that are keys to understanding the Ageless Wisdom. And they're pretty basic, actually, if you think about it. The first one is that I want to mention is this great cosmic law of polarity. It is the essence of manifestation.
Right.
So that polarity being the male and female complements that runs through, it's the thread of all of life, from the cosmic down to the fourth kingdom on this planet, the fourth kingdom in nature called humanity. We all have to abide, even those great beings that brought these laws and principles into being, they have to abide by that too. So this process of, it's really, I guess you'd say, the process of creation, this cosmic law. So what do we call that? Well, another key is this Trinity, that we, the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, and all that kind of stuff. Well, this is a great cosmic law, these principle. So you have always, you have spirit, soul, and form. That's the Trinity. We also call it Father, Son, Mother, or we have the active principle, which is always the spiritual and the masculine. It's active. Then we have its polarity, which is the mother or the feminine or the receptive. So we have that polarity. Well, what connects mom and dad? It's that middle principle. It's called the soul, or the ego, the causal body. It's the link of consciousness. It's love. It's the love that connects the masculine and the feminine. And here's the deal. We use that moment to moment. We are creating in our lives moment to moment. The problem is we are not creating consciously.
Yes, we actually spoke about that quite a bit about that. So we're talking about the, when we refer to that, the unconsciousness of the majority of the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So the third piece of the puzzle is called the Law of Correspondences. And basically everybody's heard of this, as above, so below. Well, when you really start studying the Ageless Wisdom, you realize how above that means. In essence, we are the microcosm, the reflection of that great life. So there's much that is missing in humanity's understanding of who we truly are. So the history of humanity is something that we all need to come into a consciousness about. Because until we remember who we truly are and why we're here, and I'll just give you a little hit. This planetary life called the Earth is a great consciousness evolving. You might say that evolution is a key to all of life. Everything is evolving consciously. That means as above, so below. So we live and move within this great being. He has a purpose in a greater being, and he has a plan to make that happen. And that's why they're called planetary logos, okay? So our part now, our immediate goal is to become mentally polarized, is what you were referring to, because this ancient emotional control is what has gotten us in all this mess that we're in.
Yeah, we're in a pretty bad mess right now, and most people that I actually do have on, we do discuss the unconsciousness of people that's going on right now in the Great Awakening.
Right.
That people like you and Paul and others that I've interviewed, that's been the main concept of it. I mean, the whole concept of the conversation is to awaken humanity, and each person has their own philosophy on that.
Yes, and I want to say this. People go, well, let me tell you my truth. Well, in truth, there's only one truth. We evolve into the understanding of that truth. We're not here on Tuesday, I think I'll make up my own truth. So we're really working with the world of causes, or you're working with the world of effects.
Okay, right.
This is the difference between living your life. So one of the things that I am involved with when I do workshops is helping people to bring their daily living, this is where it begins, their daily living into the rhythm of their soul.
Right. Now, that's a pretty tough one to get into. I mean, that takes a lot of work to do.
Zoe,
yeah,
this is the work we're here to do. We're not here to punch a time clock and put in, behind a desk.
Oh, no way. No way. No, we're not.
No, we're not.
No.
So, and I think a lot of us are beginning to comprehend that. Like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
So one of the ways that we can do that, it's called Raja Yoga. Raja meaning royal, yoga meaning path. So the royal path is mental development. This is one of the tools that have been here for thousands of years. Patanjali and his sutras, these are guidelines and rules for students who are really ready to step into a daily work of this rhythm of their soul. And I will tell you firsthand that when that begins to happen, your whole experience, your life begins to open into the abundance that so many great ones and teachers have talked about. It's really true. The moment that you begin to say yes to this higher essence of who you truly are, the one who, I will say, the one who created you, we have to remember, we don't have the power we think we do. The only power we begin to have is when we align ourselves in our hearts and our minds with the angel of our life.
Okay.
Then things start to happen.
Okay, I am going to back up. Sorry. Now you talked about Raja Yoga.
Raja Yoga, yes.
Okay. Now, people don't know what that is. They don't know where to go. Is this something you teach in your classes? Because they're all going Raja Yoga
I know.
now.
When I used to offer my classes, they said, do I need to bring a pillow? And I would say, if you want your butt to be okay, because you're going to be sitting in a chair. This is teachings, guidelines, tools for students who are serious now about doing the work. Okay. And I will say many, many times, as I told you the other day, I have offered classes, beginning classes in Raja Yoga, which involves the Ageless Wisdom. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Oh, I want to do this. And they show up for class and I begin to talk to them about the real work.
Right.
And I always say that third eye begins to...
So Raja Yoga is not like yoga class where you go
No.
Okay.
No.
All
yoga.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Yoga means path.
Okay.
Okay. There's quite a few yoga. There's quite a few yogas. Karma yoga, bhakti yoga, but this one is meant for now.
Oh, okay. I'm getting
where
it now.
Humanity is. Remember I told you that we are supposed to be now mentally polarized. That's the new work. controlling the emotions. This is Raja Yoga is the pathway to attaining mental polarization.
Oh my God. I mean, you're talking about controlling emotions.
Oh,
wow.
Honey.
Okay, wow,
Yeah.
wow, wow.
And let me be very clear. We have an emotional body. We have a mental body. We are a trinity, right?
Yeah.
We have a mental body, an emotional body, and a physical body. The emotional or astral body is not going to go away. It's part of the planet. But we have to control those ancient patterns of reacting instead of reasoning first. This has been our problem. In governments, in our personal lives, in all of our interactions, now we have this subconscious knee-jerk reaction to everything.
Yeah.
You've got to become conscious, and this is why we have been told by all the great teachers that have come here, there is only the now. There is only the present moment. And what happens in that moment is you become conscious of that moment. That is how you begin. So I always say, well, it's about reprogramming. Right. You have to become the observer in your life. You have to start observing your reactions to things. You have to start observing your thought forms. Everything begins with a thought form. Then you speak it, and then boom, it gets manifested. That's the creative process that brought the whole cosmic order into being. So as above, so below. So we have to begin to create or recreate our lives consciously.
Yeah, that's a woo. Wow.
Yeah, that's a woo-woo. And that's why a lot of people are not ready to do the work.
Yeah, well, I know that. Okay. It's not like, it's not like you and I saying that, we took a class, like I told you, and, let's just say in crystals, and they told me to stand on my head, and I told you this, and put them on my crotch or something. I would do it, I would do it, Bev. And, and that was all it was about, to be conscious. I mean, and there was no really work involved in it. And, so after you do all these things, you realize that they're not working, of course, okay? And that you actually have to do the work. And for me, it's a daily basis, I told you, of a 45-minute thing that works for me.
Right.
And you have to exactly what you're talking about in order to stay in what you're talking about again, is that work. And that work is not easy.
It is not easy. Nobody promises a rose garden. But I want to make this thing. Every little crappy thing that's going on in the lives of humanity is of our own doing. This is how powerful we really are. If we're powerful enough to create, and the mass consciousness of humanity has accepted all these paradigms that are now really basically crumbling in front of our eyes because they're no longer useful for us. This is creating a lot of fear, of course. But we have created all of this ourselves. We've all bought into this acceptance of, okay, we'll say it's this and we'll do it that way. And now we're whining and moaning because we have evolved out of the use of some of these old social paradigms that we created. It's time to recreate our experience here as a kingdom. We are divine beings having physical experiences. There's a big difference between being a personality, having a moment of, I saw God there for a second. So we are all always divine. But what has happened is we have been so hypnotized by the form, by materialism, that all that dross is just covering up who we truly are. And much of humanity is disconnected from the very source of their lives. And this is why we have experienced suffering and such pain and separateness. We've been controlled by fear. We've become victims of all the great social paradigms. We've accepted all of that. And so now we don't like it. So what are we going to do? This is the question now. And this is why we are at, I will say, probably one of the most profound moments, a crisis point in our history, which, by the way, is a heck of a lot older than any archaeologist or geologist can even guess at. We are ancient, ancient, ancient. So here we are at this crossroads. What are we going to do? Because it's time. You know, this whole thing that we're going through is not really about us. Remember, we are a kingdom, a group of cells within a greater body called the planetary logos.
Okay, so
everything that's happening is for his purpose.
Right, so what you're saying is mass consciousness is actually mainly in fear, which is creating more fear. And so because of that, that's where we are right now on this planetary problems that we're having. I don't even really know what I'm saying because because you say so much at once. I want to backtrack a little bit, but so I guess really what I'm trying to say is it's cause and effect, but it's mainly fear, okay, is what's the driving force right now. And so what we're doing is we're creating more, okay? Is that what I'm getting from you?
Right. The crux of everything is called separateness, especially this last 2,100 years, which is, you know, more astrological. We're in the middle of two great cusps. Actually, we're probably more into the Aquarian age now and the Piscean. But in this last 2,100 years, is where we have developed, it's qualified by an energy that's called idealism and devotion. And we have to look at what we have idealized and what we've devoted ourselves to. Well, I don't even have to say, we all know, because we're all experiencing this. The results of this misplaced idealisms, this devotion to the form, which, by the way, is not considered a principle in nature. Mm-hmm. This physical body is not a principle. And what do we do with it? We pour all of our attention onto it. We're so funny, aren't we? We're so cute. Oh my gosh. And then we want to know why we have this incredible fear but separateness. It's the separateness that we have created apart from who we really are. And it has led us into fear. It has led us into being a victim, feeling victimized, feeling like we have no power, we have no will, we have no real power. This is one of the things that humanity has to develop now, along with that consciousness. It's the alignment of the heart and the head. That's the work. So, you know, this present world condition is of our own making. Nobody did it. You know, nobody did it but us. The whole universe is neutral. It's like a genie in a bottle. We're so powerful that we speak into our little, is above so below, we are little solar systems. We speak moment to moment into that solar system, asking for this or making a statement. I'm not this, I don't have this, I'm sick, and then we wonder why, because there's a great law of attraction. It's one of the laws of the soul, the law of attraction. So this is what I mean, be in the moment, watch your thoughts. The 3 R's in the Earth School are right thought, right speech, and right action.
Right. Well, that's you know, I've been practicing, you know, metaphysics for years and years and years, and you know, I'm also, they say I'm a metaphysical doctor from, you know, whatever a year's worth of classes, but anyway, I mean, that's ridiculous, right? I mean, how can I be a metaphysical doctor after taking a course for a year? You know, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Right.
But, you know, I mean, it's really difficult even for me after, and I understand everything you're saying, of all that time to get into the spot that you're speaking about.
It's, you know what, I've been studying this for what, 40 years. Here's the deal, and I've told this to many of my older students. They're like, oh my God, time is it's our perception. Time is for the physical world, okay? The world of the soul does not recognize anything but its oneness, of which each of us is a beautiful stream of lighted love, okay, from that group called the soul group of humanity. So, you know, we have to, the work is, the first order of work is to come into an awareness of the duality. Remember that polarity I was talking to?
Right.
The first thing that happens when you're at a point, we're all going to reach it, it's all in our own time, because it's based, that free will is about choice. Okay, the only difference between us is that, you know, millions of lifetimes that my soul has had, different personalities, different choices have been made, and this is why I'm where I am, and somebody in Istanbul or whatever is where they are. So it has nothing to do with anything. We're all the same age. There are no I'm an old soul and all this stuff, okay? Once you start that conversation, you've already separated yourself from everybody else. I'm special, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a that. We're all the same, okay? This is, how many ways can you say this? We are one, we're the same. Everybody started at the same time, you know, there's no I'm better than you and I'm older soul than you and da-da-da-da-da-da. This is all that personality glamour that we hold, and that glamour is part of that whole emotional garbage dump that we've created.
Right.
We gotta clean up that landfill, let me tell you, it's pathetic.
Yeah, I'm gonna just backtrack a little bit, like you said, that we're all one and there is no time. I have had 2 experiences, actually 3. I'm not gonna really get into that, but in those experiences, they were absolutely amazing. I was in the realm of no time, and we are all one, and it was absolutely, utterly amazing.
Yep.
I can't even really describe it.
No, you can't.
At all, because it was pure.
Yes.
It was,
So we're all capable of touching that point. We're all capable. There's really, I think the message is, it doesn't matter what your status is. You know, if this is why in the East, they pass each other and, you know, namaste, because we are asked to look through that physical form, which is an illusion, and into the soul that has created that form. This is what all of us have to start doing. We have to recognize that light in each of us, not just some of us. All of us have it. Some is just covered up more than others. Okay, so the moment that we begin to honor each other, I mean, all the colors and the genders, that is, what are we doing? We're putting all of our energy into something that's not even a principle in nature. So this is what has led us into this crisis point. The moment, you know, we have to start this work. this work is not for everybody right now. You don't have to go and become a student of the Ageless Wisdom on tomorrow. But what you have to start doing is start understanding that there's something more to you than what you think there is, what you've been experiencing. And that's hard, because when you're submerged in darkness or pain or suffering or I'm a victim, boy, it's hard to see anything but that.
Well,
but,
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
a lot, you can't come, there's been times that, they call it the dark night of the soul, okay, that we could use that term, where that's happened to me. And it wasn't, suicide rates are up, it was very hard to pull myself out. But applying the principles that you're speaking about, it was easier. Took me a while to pull myself out faster.
Well, here's the deal about physical experience in a form, in a personality, the little ego, whatever you want to call it. Some of us and all of us, I will say not some of, every single one of us at some point in the evolution of the soul, and let me be very clear, it's not you, Zoe, that's evolving. It's the soul. Your soul is evolving, and the purpose is to eventually create a fit vehicle, a threefold form, right, for it to perform its agenda, its purpose here, which is always service, loving service. So you're just one of the personalities. You're the latest version. I'm the latest version for my angel, okay? Right. I'll just say that. So we have to, here's the thing, we must, in this personality body, threefold, we have to hit rock bottom. We have to become so crystallized in darkness that, frankly, there's nothing else to do but go up.
Absolutely agreed.
That is when, this is why the lotus, I think I was telling you this the other day.
Yeah,
This beautiful flower, this lotus, is a symbol of the soul. And the reason is because within the lotus, it's the only flower, it has the father, the mother, and the child. It propagates itself. It needs nothing from the outside. And where is it born? In the muck, in the dark, in the mud.
Yeah.
And as it grows, it starts to sense the sun, the light. And eventually it breaks through, right? And there it is, full-blown lotus. That's us. That's a symbol of us. And that's why most of humanity is still in the muck. And right. A lot of humanity hasn't even started sensing the light yet. They're in survival mode. But we all are going to reach that crystallized darkness. It has to happen that way. That's a sad truth.
Yeah.
But there it is.
Well, I think that's why, we're talking about the suicide and all that, is that, wow. And that's a very, very difficult and horrendous place to be.
Yeah, and I will say at some lifetime, I don't care who you are, master of the wisdom, or some great leader in humanity, or a spiritual this or that, we all have to go through it. This is the oneness of us.
Right.
So what we've done is we've created this illusion that there's me and then there's you. There's this group and then there's that group. That is a glamour. That's part of that separateness that we have really, really identified with and developed very well. We're very good. The path of least resistance for us has been what? Yuck. Right? Our true selves that's always been, we have no clue. It's like, oh my gosh, But I will tell you something about this fourth kingdom on this planet. There's actually 7 kingdoms. We only are really privy to 5 of them. We are the bridge. Humanity is the bridge between the lower 3 and the upper 3. Okay? Because we are angel and animal at this point. We are both. Okay? We have to decide. We are evolving out of that animal state, which is that emotional, that instinctive zinging and reaction, into that mental, which brings us into what a true human being is. You want to know what the definition of a true human being is?
Sure.
One who is completely harmless to himself or herself and everyone else in all the kingdoms on this planet. I don't know any of those. There's only been 1 or 2 that has achieved that. So none of us are true human beings yet. We're in that kingdom, and that's our potential. But we are not there yet. We have a lot of work to do. It begins on ourselves. We have to become that Lotus. We have to become, the moment that you become aware of the duality of the personality and or I should say the soul and its personality, once that little ego goes, ooh, what's going on? That's when the work begins, whether you like it or not. So the joy is in the tribulation, because when you are going through all of that, all the stuff comes up. We call it karma, the cause and effect, the law, whatever. When that moment hits, this is a moment of joy, because that lotus has broke through that muck.
Right.
And we start working towards the light. So the sun is always a symbol of the highest aspect of ourselves. So we start working towards, the soul is just, our true goal is to go back who we truly are. These divine units of consciousness, we are literally here to help this amazing entity called the planetary logos to help fulfill his purpose. We're part of the plan, which leads me into this. So I really, in ending, I want to share something that you can Google it. I won't put it up here, but this is called the Great Invocation. It is a mantram, an ancient mantram that was literally given to humanity in 1945, because we had gone through these 2 great wars,
right,
considered one great war, and the United Nations was developed then, and this great invocation was agreed that there was enough of us on this planet to start invoking this mantram. And it is being said since 1945, 24/7, by an individual or a group of individuals. This is an amazing way to do service. If you're looking for something that requires nothing but your presence for maybe 1 minute, because when you start to say the Great Invocation, which is not a personal mantram, it is a global, a planetary prayer. When you start to enter into that, your life will begin to change in ways that are absolutely beautiful. This is selfless service, and this is the keynote of this new age: brotherhood, love, service, loving service. The last 2,100 years has been about me and separateness and living in fear and devoted to God knows what idealisms that, everybody, all these big institutions have propagated for us and we've bought into. Now it's time for us to grow up. Right. So I always say, humanity. Humanity.
Well, you're talking about, backtracking again, service. Let's just say somebody Well, they can't do a job that has service. They're not in that position to be of service. So let's just say that's their job, and their life is not about service. So they're looking at you right now saying, okay, so what do I do if that's not what I do?
Here we go again. Service, we have to dig into the fundamental truth about these words that we're throwing out there. Service begins here. We're here to serve the one who is our master, the master in our heart.
That would be the answer to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the whole crux of that.
But here's the new way to do things. The age of becoming a sannyasin and leaving mommy and daddy and say, hey, I'm going to go look for my guru, that's past. We have to approach our lives as a group now. This is a new experiment. And this is what's hard, because we're going out of the age of I and me, and this new age is saying, no, there's never been just an I and a me. It's always been us.
Right.
It's us. And so loving service under this Aquarian epoch now is about service to the plan. We can do that. We don't have to run out and say, hey, I'm doing service. No. This is why I'm mentioning the Great Invocation. This is a fantastic way for all of us to enter into global service in our own homes. Takes 1 minute. Step into a different consciousness.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
That actually.
Yeah, don't go out and sign up.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. You don't have to do that.
Okay.
No, it begins in our heart, linked with our consciousness. Okay? Love is consciousness.
Right.
Period.
Now, okay, sure. Okay, so let's say somebody doesn't know what love is.
Here's the deal. We speak the word, we have no clue what love is. That is such a high, and I'll just give you a hint. The solar deity, okay, the universal God, deity, is in the process of becoming. It's called Love Wisdom. He hasn't even potentialized that yet. How in the world do we know what love is? We spew that word out, but it's better than saying, I hate you.
Yeah.
We have to start somewhere. The heart of humanity is opening, and we're speaking that word, and that is where we begin. So we don't know what true love is. It's so high. It's such a high ideal. It's a divine idea that is still in process of becoming. And so every single entity in this solar system is developing love wisdom.
Right, that's interesting, because I used to have a shaman and with paranormal extraction, a shaman. And I told him once, I said, I love you. And he looked at me and he said, be very careful of using that word. And, that said a lot. And it always sticks with me.
So I will say this for all of us, and this has been told through the Ageless Wisdom teachings. The work, we were talking about work earlier, the work here in the Earth School is called equilibrium. Remember that law of polarity?
Right.
Our place is to find the point of least resistance. It's called peace of mind. To find that point and to become that middle point. This is doable. Okay. The reason why it seems so daunting is because we don't remember who we are. Once we step into our true essence, then we can do the work. This is what we're meant to do here. We have such a long way to go.
I know,
We're teenagers, okay?
You're talking about this, and I'm like, starting to rub my face and stuff, and that's because it's like my mind starts getting blown, and there's...
It starts to dissolve.
Yeah, and then, I can't say and back up or anything like that, but so this would be the bottom line, the work.
The work.
And that's why I'm going like this, and because for me, my walk where I'm doing the hour, okay, it is work, okay, and there are times, Bev, when I've been so burned out, okay, let's just say I'm burned out because of whatever I've created, as you have said, where I can't even think of doing the work because I'm so tired, so is it okay if you take a day off?
so here's the good news, okay? This is not going to happen overnight for any of us. Remember, our souls have had many, many lifetimes, and we're the latest version. Okay, here's the scary part. Our lives now are going to be the blueprint for the next personality life. This will bring us into a sobering state. It's like, what? Okay, so here's the good news. This is not going to happen overnight. There's a process. I call it a reprogramming, where you begin to observe yourself, like I said, your thoughts, your words, speech, and then look at what you're manifesting, okay? Then the next process, once you start that, the next step in that process is called reorientation. So now we're starting to say, I'm not just a personality, I'm a duality. There's another part to me, a higher part to me that I've got to come into a relationship with.
Sure.
The third thing is then re-identification. So I always ask my students, who are you identifying with? What are you focusing on right now? Is it this little whiny thing? I'm tired. I can't, and I don't, and I can't, and I don't have, and I'm this, and I'm not that. Or are you focusing on something higher? It takes practice.
Oh my God.
It's like anything else. Lift it. It's called altitude. Yeah, just saying.
Woo!
But we are in training to change what we think we are into what we truly are. It is doable, but it takes practice, and it takes a will, and it takes sacrifice. But I will tell you, the result is such incredible joy in your life. So, we have the choice. Every moment we have the choice. What do we look like? What do we want our lives to be? Have we even dared to ask that question? Do we have, don't ask the question because we don't remember how powerful we truly are? If my Raja Yoga teacher told me, if you don't like your solar system, speak something different into it. Change that doggone thing. You are the voice into that thing. Everything that you don't like is of your own creation. Period.
Wow.
There's no mommy did it and my first grade teacher or the guy down the street or the government. No, this is humanity growing up and taking responsibility for what we all have created now. We have to wake up, we have to grow up, and we have to step up. This is what we're being asked to do in this pandemic and the planetary logos he is preparing for a great event in his evolutionary process. He is cleansing with water and purifying with fire. Do we not see that in nature? If something isn't on fire, it's flooded.
Right.
His body that we live and move within is being purified and cleansed. Boom.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with us.
Right.
We need to get out of that ego. Get over ourselves. Just do the work, man. Pay attention to yourself. You know?
I know. That's what I love about you is that, you know, what you just said, I mean, it just makes me smile because it's, you know, it's kind of like, you're like me, your bottom line, you know, that's the bottom line of it all.
That's the bottom line.
And it really is. And, you know, when we spoke, because I always do pre-interviews, it was like, you know, we spoke about, you were just, wow, it blew me away too, because you were just, every sentence was just like you just said, you know, bottom line.
Bottom line.
Right.
So we have a lot of work ahead of us, but humanity is so important. We are important and to the whole planetary plan. And if we don't play nice, well, it's not, I'm telling you, nobody has to push a red button. We are not here to save the planet. He does not need us to save him. He needs us to partake in his great evolutionary process, period. Stop this stuff about, We have contributed to the gunk that's going on, but only to some effect. We've got, there's so many other things that are happening. We are on the cusp of two ages. We are on the cusp of two great qualifying energies going out, coming in. The ebbing and flowing of life is way beyond our understanding. Okay, we're just one part of it. We're just one species here. We're not the ones.
Right.
We're here, and part of we've been given guardianship. I'll just say this in ending. Let's think about this. As these divine beings that we are, we've been given guardianship over the three lower kingdoms, the mineral, the vegetable, and the animal. Do I even have to say what we have done with our stewardship for all the little lives in these kingdoms? We have raped and pillaged and destroyed, and this is what I'm saying. We are harmful. We are like little kids in a daycare, throwing crap around and destroying things.
Right. So do you believe it's okay to have dark and light? I mean, there's both sides, right?
Well, that's part of that duality that we deal with in the physical world. Right and wrong, dark and light, What the work is to come into that midway point and be a point of peace and observe the two extremes. They're the law of the physical world. Mm-hmm. But humanity, we are like a pendulum. We swing way over here, then we swing way over here. Okay, we have to become a point of peace in the planet. Okay, and that's not what we've been. So it begins with each of us in our personal lives to do the work, to become, and so we don't add to the chaos.
Yes. Yeah, wow. That's a lot of information coming through there. That I mean, I think, you know, even I am going to have to watch the video 2 or 3 times, you know, to really absorb everything that you've said today, because, you know, some of it's, you know, blown me away a little bit. Okay, I'm not saying I don't believe you. I mean, it all resonates on some level.
When I first started really studying back in the 70s, it was a hush hush. Ooh, don't say anything to him because you might scare him. You know what I say now? All bets are off. We're at a crisis point, and people need to hear and be reminded and wake up to who you truly are. You're not who you think you are. You are these amazing incredible beings, divine. My gosh, let's start embracing this in our own lives and going out there and embracing each other. This is, again, why I love BioTouch.
Right.
That self-awareness that it promotes is that's why it's here now.
Right. Yes, it is.
That's why it's here. It holds all of these laws and principles I've been talking about. Go check out BioTouch. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, now that's on your, let's kind of talk about now how to get a hold of you. BioTouch is on Facebook.
Yes, it's called BioTouch Healing.
Okay, so they can just go to BioTouch Healing.
Healing, right.
Okay, and then it will tell you when you guys are on live, right?
Oh, yes, we have
Okay.
a live streaming show. You can also go to our website, justtouch.com, and read all about it. We are here to teach. We're a global foundation. We are teaching BioTouch to the world because here's the thing, just like I told everybody, what you already are, you already have BioTouch there. It's already within you to
Yes.
reach out and care
That's
for
right.
another human being.
Yes,
Yeah.
that
So,
is correct.
This is something you don't have to go looking for.
Yeah.
Get on that website, you can learn the technique and immediately start helping anybody.
It's
Anybody.
actually a very amazing technique, and it's very easy to do. Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing. Now, if someone wanted to take their class, your class,
Yep.
how would they get a hold of you?
Now, you talking about the BioTouch?
No, I'm talking about you to take
Oh,
your personal classes or find out about you.
You know what, I've been thinking, it's so funny because right before I met you, I had already started thinking about offering an introduction class to the Ageless Wisdom, and then I have developed a workshop, which is I call it Building the Temple Beautiful, and this is about more going into giving students tools that they can begin to use in their daily living that will help them to come into an alignment with that angel of their life. So I'm really not, I don't have a classroom set up. If anybody wants to get a hold of me, again, I'm a certified spiritual counselor. You can always email me. If you have enough people who want a class, I would be happy to do a class. And you can reach me. Can I give my email address?
Yeah, absolutely. You can give me anything you want.
Okay, so I'll give you, well, you know my email address.
Right, I know, but I'm going to put that on, under everything what you're about.
Okay, so it's Bev Wood 5 at yahoo.com.
Okay, and that's how people will get a hold of you. Okay, so that's great. Now let's just say they're on Facebook and they want to get a hold of you. You're on there as Bev Wood.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have my own. I do have a page called the Soul Spa. I'm not really on there, but it's mostly devoted to the soul-centered astrology that I do. If anybody's interested on that, it's called the Soul Spa. It's a page on Facebook.
Okay.
So you can actually contact me through that as well.
Right. Okay. So, well, that's fantastic. So we got all your information on how to contact you and your concept, which is blown me kind of up. Am I still here? I mean,
Yes, you are.
Or am I, I don't know, did my head blow off? So, okay, so, well, it's been an absolute amazing time, I'm going to say, with you. I'm not even going to say a pleasure. It's been a pleasure, but experience, time, just wisdom, being with you. And I'm really grateful for that.
Zoe, it's been the same for me. It's been an honor to be on your show. Thank you very much. You know, the paranormal thing kind of threw me at first, but
Yeah, I know.
you know, but it's okay. It's okay. You know, it's just a word. It's just a word. But
Yeah.
I'm really grateful that what you're holding and that you were brave enough to ask me to come on your show.
Yeah, well, you know what the thing is that my producer, because now I'm going to be doing a radio show, told me, no way can you change your name.
Yeah.
You've been out there for too long.
Right.
There is
Right.
absolutely no way you can do that. So it has to be what it is.
Well,
And-
can I just say this? There's
Yeah.
been some people who think I'm paranormal just by the stuff that I say. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm in good company here.
Oh, I
You're
love
like,
it. I love it. Okay, all right. So, you know,
That's
I'm
right.
laughing so hard right now. Let's end with that. I mean,
Okay.
that's fantastic. You know, it's just a little bit more lighthearted
Yep.
here.
Oh, it can be lighthearted. Let's not make this is a hope for who we truly are. This is not meant to be daunting, although it can be, but oh my gosh, the joy that is in this whole coming to ourselves is fantastic. It is beautiful. That's who we are. We're beauty.
That's absolutely wonderful. And okay, so I am going to say I really appreciate you on, and I know that we've decided together that you're going to come on and speak about astrology, which
Yes.
a lot of people are interested and don't have any idea about it. So you will be coming on another show down the road about that.
Yes.
That's separate. That is nothing to
That's
do.
something else, yes.
Right.
Although I will say astrology in its true essence holds all of what I've been talking about today. That's why I use it as a tool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know that the filmer over here is going, yeah. You know, he's all excited about listening to having you on for that one.
Good.
Okay. So what we're going to say is I just want to let you know that I really appreciate you coming on today and
Thank you.
letting the paranormal extraction not freak you out. And, give my best to Paul.
I will. Thank you,
Okay.
dear. Thank
All
you so
right.
much for
All
having
right.
me on.
All right. Thank you so much,
Bye.
Bev. Bye.
Bye.